You're watching exclusive coverage of the 2026 NADA show on CBT News.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. We're out here live at the 2026 NADA show in Las Vegas. And I've got with me Dave Spencer and Rob Cohen, both with Vitu. We've done shows with you guys before, got a lot of comments from dealers that were interested in this, wanting to learn more about this whole situation. As a former dealer myself, I think we kind of got in that conversation about that. And so, you know, it's something that we want to pick up on because dealers are concerned about this. And, you know, we're talking obviously about registration and titles and making sure that we're doing it right, we're doing it fast, time is money, right? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so, you know, kind of carrying to the last time we had a conversation, even that was a month ago, 2 months ago, it's constant evolution. So really focusing in, Jim, on starting to break down those silos between lenders and dealers, insurance companies, auctions, and making things less about, again, that back end that we were talking about, and making it more forethought. Like, hey, I can acquire vehicles faster this way. I can actually make more profit. And what are ways where I can be less dependent on archaic infrastructure and policy and start to think outside the box about what modern technologies can power my dealership into the 21st century. You know, we start to look at the positive headlines that are out there today with the dealership groups and the non-traditionals that are, you know, on the right acceleration of sales and profitability. They're starting to deploy these technologies that we've been talking about over the course of the past 2 years.
Sure.
Adoption rate is what's most impressive. Very small adoption rate in the beginning we talked about last time. We looked at the figures between the last time that we met and now, and that non-linear acceleration of adoption between all of the verticals is immense. So
yeah, for sure. So for some of the people that did not catch our last broadcast, tell us what Vitu is. I mean, kind of give us the elevator pitch, if you will, for those people that are visiting right now and taking a look at today's broadcast.
Yeah, so Vitu is registration and titling focused, covering the entire ecosystem. To put things in perspective, we're 13,000 franchise dealerships, 10,000 lenders, endorsed by 26 ATAEs across the country, right? Experience matters. But what do we do at the end of the day? We're empowering money to move. Title and registration event is usually the blockade of what prevents money from moving from the lender to the dealer to a dealer in a wholesale situation. So we're assisting dealers with their in-state title and registration in now 26 states, expanding greatly over the next couple of years. We're helping dealers in all 50 states with those interstate registration and titling transactions. You're selling it from California into New York. We're doing that process for them, making it flawless, securing those liens. We're using the NTX and our e-titling to help vehicles get acquired faster, safer, with the least amount of fraud that is in our industry right now. And that's just for the dealers. Going to the lenders, we're managing their collateral. So when that lien is placed, we're taking the liens in-house, both ELTs, our paper titles, we manage that and distribute that. So you really start to break down like, hey, I got lenders and dealers that really need to talk to each other. They're dependent on each other, and I'm starting to tie those in to make things faster, communicate better, less like bad keystroke errors causing delays in money for both parties. So,
and it's basically creating the rails, right? I mean, so we create the rails from the dealership to the DMV to the lenders, to the auctions, and right back again. It's the rails of registration and titling. And what has historically been such a huge pain point for all of those stakeholders is now moving so much more smoothly, more securely, and more efficiently.
Yeah, for sure. Dave talked about fraud in the system. Talk to us about how this is a major issue for dealers, without a doubt.
It's huge, and we've seen an uptick in fraud across the board. And AI has a lot to do with that. AI is out there now instructing bad actors on how to commit title fraud.
Okay, that's not what we heard about AI. We thought AI was going to cure everything in the car business.
Exactly, right? But it makes, you can create documents. You can create documents using AI
that's a problem.
Scarily similar to what the official documents are.
Sure.
Lien release letters. official-looking letters from lenders that...
Oh, you're scaring the audience
I know,
right now.
I'm sorry.
But it's a good scare. It's a good scare.
And we have
right.
a solution, though.
Right.
I mean, here's the thing. Let's stop relying on
Yeah.
the paper documents.
That's right.
Let's stop relying even on... I mean, not to take business away from notaries, but the whole notary process is
Yeah.
still pretty archaic.
Yeah.
It's identity verification, manual identity verification. We prefer to do it automated.
Yeah, of course.
We have the ability to do it using digital means that is far more reliant than some person that's looking at an identification card, and they may not even be looking at it that carefully.
That's right.
So
That's
reduction
right.
on reliance on paper and the and digital identity verification that
Yeah.
meets federal standards. That's what we focus on.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that I didn't even think about that, Rob. I mean, that to be thinking about AI in a corrupt way like that, that's a huge wake-up call. But I can completely see how that would be the case, right? That's nuts out there.
I mean, it's the same way that the AI is. I mean, there's way more good uses of AI as
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned, and I love to use it. And from a legal perspective, AI is actually pretty good at legal stuff.
Yeah.
But much like a bad lawyer can use those skills against legitimate businesses,
Yeah.
bad AI can do the same thing, or at least
right.
I don't know if there is a bad AI, but
Yeah.
there's
It could-
a bad actor
a
can
bad
use
actor
AI
can use
to
AI.
do
Yeah.
bad things.
Yeah, better put, right? For sure. Dave, talk to us about the money that is going to be saved. We saw it with JD Power. I don't know if you attended it, but at the JD Power event that we covered, they talked about the industry doing about the same in terms of the SAR as last year, about 16.3, but they did say that the gross profits are going to be coming down. I think 10 or 12%. That's a concern for dealers, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. Like dealers are looking like, how do I do more with the same?
Yeah.
Right? We can only push so much metal and glass.
Right.
So we're either going to create efficiencies and drive down cost of sales.
Yeah.
Or we can make our sales more profitable.
Yep.
So using the various technologies we talked about earlier, going back, we'll focus on e-titles for a second,
Yeah.
right? So breaking down the math, we calculate per transaction, so per vehicle acquired using
Right.
e-title, our dealers save on average $241 per vehicle. We've been talking about this for years. Now, if you really start to break down the math, we got over 2 million e-titles processed now, plus,
Wow.
right? So
You're saving a whole lot of money.
a whole lot of money. So 241, right? You start to break that down, you're looking at millions and millions and millions
Yeah,
of
of
dollars, right? So we talked about this before, but $480 million is what we have saved the industry using those figures.
Wow.
Breaking them down, the average title turn time, if you're not using e-titling,
Yeah.
is 21 days of DMV processing.
Okay.
That isn't the logistics of getting it to the DMV
Yeah.
or the DMV putting in a USPS envelope and mailing you that title. That's 21
still
days
doing
right
that,
there, right? So, we feel the 241 per vehicle saved is probably a little light. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
what's
yeah.
your perspective on daily holding costs?
Somewhere around 70, 80 bucks, right?
Yeah, so now
a
you're
day?
looking like
Yeah.
three billion plus
Of
in
course.
industry savings.
Of course.
And it's just getting started,
Yep.
right? It's multiple states that are moving to this way. We started in Montana, we went to Idaho,
Yeah.
right? We're launched in Virginia, and we
Right.
have all these states in line.
Yeah.
They're coming to us. They want to move forward.
Yeah.
We talked about this last interview. COVID started it,
Yeah.
right? But then the industry woke up and went, wait a minute, not only can we create efficiencies and unreliance on people in the event something else like this happens,
Right.
But back to Rob's point, right? We can actually do it quicker while reducing fraud.
Yeah.
And that's the holy grail,
Yeah.
right? That is a big fundamental change in the automotive ecosystem.
Sure.
All dealers, lenders, insurance companies,
Yep.
right? It's making a big difference.
Yeah.
Dave threw out a number there that I didn't want to let just go. The 2 million e-titles that we have processed.
Wow.
2 million e-titles.
That's awesome.
How many legal claims have I received? 0.
Really? 2
Zero
million?
legitimate
Impressive.
legal claims, no lawsuits,
Wow.
no claims
That's
that
the real deal.
Their ownership interests have been unlawfully interfered with.
Yeah.
It's actually shocking to me.
I was going to say, it's almost unheard of, yeah.
As a lawyer, sometimes I expect problems to occur, and this one, it didn't occur.
That's right.
Literally, we have no problems associated with those, no legal issues that I've had to contend with,
Yeah.
which is very telling.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, there's no question about it. Is this one of those areas that dealers, this wasn't an area, as a dealer principal, this wasn't an area that I always thought about. You know what I mean? The dealers run I know what I'm making on the cars, and I know what's happening. Of course, we talk to my title person, or I talk to the comptroller. I'm looking at CITs. What's the holdup? Why is this car in our back lot that we can't retail? Oh, well, we don't have the title on it. It wasn't cleared through title. What about this? It seemed like the more I looked into it, the more I found. So I didn't always look into it.
Right.
Right.
And it's very typical. I
know.
Nobody.
And that's a problem. That's not gonna work in 2026.
No.
Right.
It's registration and titling. It ain't sexy.
No.
Right.
No,
it really isn't.
Oh, but we're gonna make it.
We're bringing it back. We're bringing it back.
That's right.
No, and it is. It's something that the details.
Money. Somebody said to me, money is sexy.
Money is sexy,
money
and
is
that's
sexy.
we're doing that.
That's right.
We're making it so that
that's right.
If you utilize our system, and dealers have been so reliant on government entities to generate titles, and as we know, the governments aren't necessarily all that interested in doing it quickly.
That's right.
So, but we're taking over, and our contracts that we have with the governments allow us to do things at a speed that they've never been able to do.
That's great.
And that translates to money. That translates to sexy.
Does this seem strange that we're talking in 2026 that this is still an issue? This
all day, every day.
Right.
It just does not make sense.
I mean, I can Venmo my daughter, who lives in Australia, $100 in seconds. You know what I mean? She's like, yeah, thanks. And here we are still playing around with titles and it, in one of the largest industries in the country, right? And that hasn't been worked out, right?
And again, it all gets back to the reliance on paper, and that's why things have taken so long. Once we convert, and when we get to the point where the states recognize that the motor vehicle record is actually far more reliable than the paper itself, and far more efficient, then it'll be a click.
That's
then
right.
It'll be an automatic identity verification, a click, a transfer, and all the parties are secured and taken care of.
That's right. That's right. And we're also seeing, obviously there's bad players out there, but then there's also bad players that actually work in dealer groups. You know what I mean? That kind of help facilitate some of this fraud that's out there as well, right? It's not rampant, but every now and then you hear, automotive news. You're like, oh my gosh,
We don't see that very often in the new franchise world.
Yeah.
We do see that in the independents world a lot more often.
Right.
And I will say, and a lot of high-end independent dealers.
Yeah.
In fact, there was just an article that we read about. There's heavy incentive to fraudulently create ownership records, but we don't see that at the dealership level very often.
Yeah.
The new car dealership.
Right. Yeah, no question about it. Well, Dave, I'll give you a final word. What do you want to leave the dealers with on this topic here at NADA in Vegas? What should they be talking about and coming to you for?
So everyone's here to make money or save money, right? And if you're acquiring cars or you're selling cars and you're not talking to Vitu about solutions that you've probably never heard of before, you're just losing out on money, right? You're taking undue risk, and you're putting your staff through a lot of work where they could be focusing on the customer experience and not filling out forms. This is silly. As we start to move on, what we're looking at is, at the end of the day, we're moving metal and glass. So how do we start to remove those frictions? So very shortly, Jim, I'm sure we'll be back on, but it's seamless integration with a lot of the technology partners in here, where if an FI manager is comfortable using their credit platform, their credit submission platform, they'll be able to register their car in that platform, right? You need to make an acquisition of a vehicle and you're using a VDV engine or something like along those lines, it'll be part of that. Does it have a title? Is it coming out of state? Do I want to take risks? No, plug, key, go. Right? So it's seamless integration to what car dealers do best without having to focus on the complex rules. That's our job. Let us take that burden away from you. And not only will we take that away, we will make you more profit. And it's proofs in the pudding.
That's great.
There's a lot of people out there that are talking about this, right? And kind of screaming from the top of the mountains, like, hey, look at us, we're shiny, we're new. Experience matters. And I want to go back, that 13,000 franchise dealers,
that's pretty impressive.
10,000 lenders endorsed by 26 ATAEs, right?
Digital connections to 35 states.
Wow.
Yes.
In those states that we don't have a digital connection to, we have boots on the ground.
And just trust matters, right? When you're picking your partner, right? For us to be able to get into a state and have the connections that we do to deploy the technologies to our dealers and our lenders and our other partners, right? There's a big amount of trust that goes in there. So
Yeah, that's pretty substantial.
As technology crests, right? Pick a trusted partner that's deep rooted in the industry, that's got way too much to lose to make you take risk you shouldn't be taking risk.
That's right. We didn't even really touch too much on, maybe we'll do it in the next interview, but the fact that dealers today are crossing borders, state borders, to acquire cars all day long. And then consumers are also crossing border. You got the right used car, and it's 2 states over. They have no problem buying that car now online and having it shipped over. So this is really more front and center now. It's more front burner than it used to be.
For sure.
For that reason.
Yeah.
For that reason.
And we solve for that too. I mean, and especially with financing. Once upon a time, a cross-border deal was hard for a dealer to do because they didn't really understand what paperwork they needed in the other state.
Right.
And if there was a lender that required them to be put on as lien holder, the dealer couldn't guarantee that would happen by giving the paperwork to the customer because they don't want to rely on the customer for that. We have a solution to that. Interstate will take that on, and digitally they can submit paperwork to us, and then if the target state for registration accepts digital processing, we'll do it. If not, we'll print that stuff out and walk it in with boots on the ground.
That's great. That is fantastic. Rob Cohen, co-founder and chief administrative officer and general counsel. You're an attorney. Do you ever feel like you should sue yourself at least once so that you could then say, "Well, I got one attorney." You know what I mean?
Didn't you do that on Monday?
Sometimes I just look at myself in the mirror and say, "You can't handle the truth."
Maybe that next lawsuit is actually going to be the founder. You know what I mean? And Dave Spencer, obviously, you've seen him here before at CBT News, Vice President, National Sales Dealers. This is something that you want to focus on this year. It's 2026. I think it's about time. Look into this, learn more about it. You guys are out here, right, at Eddie with an exhibit. What's the booth number?
We don't have a booth.
You don't have a booth number?
Nope.
Okay. But you are out here if they want to meet with you, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
you'll see us in a lot of the other vendor booths talking with the dealers.
Okay. There you go.
Their customers.
And by the way, if they don't have good coffee, we're going to sue them.
Yeah.
So that's
no.
we are right here.
Again, I use my powers for good. That's all.
Jim,
Guys,
we appreciate
thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks for watching our exclusive coverage of the 2026 NADA show on CBT News.